This is the packaging for the Bell Super 2R. So the Bell Super 2 has been popular for a long time, but it doesn't include a chin. And that's gonna be really beneficial if you're someone who likes to downhill and might be taking a little bit more aggressive routes and just want to protect your chin. I've actually fallen a few times. You can maybe see a scar on the bottom of my chin. So this is something that appealed to me in part for protection, but also because I wanted to do some camera mounting. And the helmet comes with a little kind of a camera tab on top, right on top of the helmet. It's really nice. It immediately caught my attention when I was looking at other downhill helmets. I went to a store called Mojo Wheels in Denver, Colorado, and these guys have just a whole wall of helmets you can actually try on. I was struggling to find one that felt good just by looking online. It's hard to tell, like, how heavy is it and everything. That was a big concern of mine because I have a sort of a sensitive neck and back. So here's a little bit more information about this. It's talking about the wraparound system. It's got a goggle guide, and goggles do feel pretty good in it. It's got a lot of ventilation and everything. But the version that I purchased also has MIPS. So that stands for Multi-Directional Impact Protection System. And it's sort of this sliding cage inside the helmet that helps to reduce that first impact and smearing your skin on your head. Like the plastic piece slides instead. So that's really nice. This one was also a Star Wars version, which I wasn't sure about. I was like, Star Wars, but I thought it looked great. So I've got it out here on the deck, and you can see, I've actually put on some stickers because it used to say Trooper right here. I just like white. I think it's more visible when you're riding around at night. Sometimes I am coming back kind of at dusk or going out for early morning rides. Now you can see that yellow MIPS sliding interface that we were talking about before. This one just feels really good to me. When I wore this and compared it to other full-face downhill helmets, I was just impressed. Like, it definitely felt lighter. It felt a lot cooler, and it did some weighing and stuff earlier. So the chin guard, which is removable on this one, is 356 grams. The helmet itself, without the chin guard, is 376. So, you add that up, it's 732 grams. That's relatively lightweight. You can kind of compare that to some of the other helmets out there. When I, got this, I took off that top piece that I was talking about where you could mount a GoPro or whatever. I wanted to put one down here so it was a little bit more interesting and it kind of shines a little bit more easily where I'm looking. So I've got one of the Hero Sessions right there on the front with a custom mounting interface that I designed out of just a piece of steel that I cut out, and I put some duct tape on it and wrapped it around a couple times, and then I put a Go-Tough aluminum mounting interface right there so I can put different systems on there. I actually tried a wearable gimbal up here, but I found that the tracking was too slow and it didn't appeal to me, so I put a Sessions on there. It's a little bit lighter. And then to balance it out, in the rear I have an H2N recorder from Zoom, and that picks up a lot of the ambient sort of birds and trail noise and stuff when I'm riding, but it is pretty heavy. So with the cameras and the mounts added, now this is 1,200 grams. Okay, so it's like a more than 400 gram difference. You notice it, and turning your head and stuff, it's just a little bit slower. It doesn't feel quite as good, but that's what you do to get the shots. I'm gonna go ahead and take the jaw piece off now, just to show you what that looks like. Okay, so you've kind of got these buckles here. They kind of remind me of ski boots or something, and they're metal and they really secure tightly. Feels very sturdy, and it's not just the buckles that are holding it into place. It's kind of the way that it's designed. So we get this one. It sort of fits in. See how there's like a black plug thing right here that kind of connects right in to this vent and this vent. So these actually hold the whole jaw piece in place, and then the buckle surrounds and clasps in the back and then in these little holes up front. So this is what just the Bell, just the 2 looks like without the N. And that's the jaw piece here, so you can kind of see it up close. I like that I could take this off because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of work sort of custom fabricating this interface right here. And again, you can see this piece of steel strapping that I got just from a local Ace Hardware. Had a long strip like this, and I sort of wove it. There actually used to be a piece of plastic right in the middle, and there were 2 vent holes, one up top, one down low, that looked a lot like this. So I took out the middle bar and then I took a piece of that steel and kind of came up from the bottom and wrapped it around the front and around the back. So I've actually got 3 layers here that I was then able to drill through. I did like a starter drill hole, small, and then I did a bigger one, and then I put the screw through, and then I got that Go Tough aluminum piece, and I actually shaved it down a little bit so it was narrower. So, you know, this probably isn't as safe and sturdy as if I had not modified it like this, but I do feel a little bit better, at least my teeth and things. You know, it's not like this is gonna punch through really easily and hit me in the face if I fall. So I felt pretty good about that. And here's the overall look of this thing. One of the other things that I really liked about the helmet was that it came with this little bag, so I can kind of toss everything in there and not worry about it getting banged up if I'm on the road traveling. So keep in mind that it's not exactly as strong or as highly rated as a true like one-piece full face helmet for downhill riding. I guess there's an organization called the ASTM that rates full face helmets and has safety standards, and this does not meet those guidelines. Okay, now from the other direction here, the way I put this jaw piece on usually is kind of put all the straps inside the helmet. And of course they are adjustable length and everything here, and then there is that rear tightening circle, so you can kind of bring the plastic headpiece in a little bit. So just sort of line up the sides like that, make sure this is open like that, and tighten it. There's a couple clicks, so just make sure it's all the way down like that. Here's the other side, and then that's it. Now I'm going to go ahead and just put it on, and the band is open all the way. Just kind of slide it through here like this. There we go. Buckle it in the bottom, and tighten that rear strap again, and that's kind of it. There we go. This is where goggles would fit. It's got an adjustable visor as well, so you could potentially put a camera up here if you wanted instead of down here. I'm going to do some tests as well with this just to show you the difference between the speaker audio, the zoom, versus standard GoPro audio. I don't have any dead cats or anything on this right now. Keep that in mind. Rick's a little ways back. Just let Rich catch up.
It's sunny and bright. It's going to be a great experience to ride bikes.
I like this, you know, it's not too hot.
Yeah.
Different scenery.
Yeah.
There's the Stanley. Check it out. Beautiful. There he goes. Cool, man. Thanks again. Rick's a little ways back. Just let Rich catch up.
It's sunny and bright. It's going to be a great experience to ride bikes.
I like this, you know, it's not too hot.
Yeah.
Different scenery.
Yeah.
There's the Stanley. Check it out. Beautiful. There he goes. Cool, man. Thanks again. One of the trade-offs with the setup I've designed here is that, you know, I still have some ventilation on the side, but not as much on the front. So it might be hotter than it would had I kept it, you know, unmodified, or if I mounted the camera up here. You can always put a camera on top. As I keep mentioning, it kind of comes with a little mounting piece there that would work with GoPros. It's just, in my experience, like, I go through trees, and, you know, I don't want to get the camera hit head on like that. I also like having it down here for like a better perspective of my hands and everything, or the road. So this is just my personal preference. Maybe we'll see a helmet with a mounting piece right here in the future, and there are actually accessories that let you do this too. So you don't have to do what I did and cut the thing completely up. I wanted the camera mounted, you know, as far back as possible and just the perfect position. You could always use something like this. This is from SoPro Mounts. It's a full face chin mount, so it's just a piece of cloth kind of foam, and then it's got 3 straps on the back, so you can see the picture there. This would be a way to mount a GoPro in pretty much the same position as I have, just maybe sticking out a little bit more, and it wouldn't damage the helmet. By the way, they do sell replacement jaws for these if you want, so I could go online and I could get a black one or a couple different colors for maybe like $100. It's not going to match perfectly because this is the special edition Star Wars, but that's just a heads up for you in case you get one of these and you're like, oh, I want to experiment with one jaw, but I want to keep one intact. You can buy them separately. So that's really cool. So I'm going to go out and test this thing out, and we'll do some samples on audio and video. Yeah, it looks like it really smooths it out. Do some drafting. Sometimes see elk out here in that field.
I think it just stopped raining.
You think it did? My glasses are soaked. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That is the Bell Super 2R full face helmet with detachable chin guard. It's a pretty sweet thing, and you know, again, I thought it was fun to show off just like all the different possibilities of what you can do with this thing and have some fun and go out there yourself. So you know, ride safe. I'll have the full write-up on this with some more details and specs back at ElectricBikeReview.com, and I'll see you on the trail.